Hi, everybody. So today we're going to do lighter weights, a lot of shoulder work because we stretched for that on Wednesday for that kind of relief of pain. And then we're going to contrast that with working specifically on leg strength, standing up, maybe sitting down, but standing up mostly. We're not having leg weights on, body weight. Okay. Body weight and free weights. That's what we're going to start with. So first of all, we're going to get warmed up a little differently. Humor me. See my chair? Yeah, make it so that you can get all the way around it. See this? I'm going to go all the way around it, both ways. You can put your hand on the chair in case you have any little missteps or something like that. But the important thing is that you're able to go around the chair. Then actually start doing that. So here I am. The little chair right here, the back is right here, so I can put my hand on it anytime. And I'm going to circle it. I'm not circling it fast. But here's what you're going to notice, or you should notice. As I'm circling this way, you're going to feel more of a load start to warm up your inside leg, okay, as you circle this. Now, some of you might start feeling a little dizzy. Then I would say, number one, slow down. Take big breaths through your nose. Use this as a chance to get lined up. I'm walking, and then to keep your balance in this circular motion that we're doing is start focusing. Every time you turn the corner, you do a hard focus on an immovable object. That's the trick. See, I'm looking at the lampshade. I'm looking at the tree. I'm looking at that picture. I'm looking at, something that doesn't move. And don't stop. Stay going around your chair. Take big breaths through the nose. Think about how you're putting your feet. Are you wobbling? Are you wobbling? If you're wobbling, drop your center of gravity. How do you do that? You act like you're creeping. See this? I just dropped my center of gravity. My shoulders are down. I just hip hinged a little, but I bent in my knee. That's how you do that. Take a big deep breath. Don't wobble. I'm gonna one more pass or one more circular motion all the way to this corner. Stay with me. Take a big deep breath. Okay, there in the wherever your stopping point is, stand right here. Turn. Now the other leg is on the inside. Okay. So as you start to do your circular pattern, again, big breaths through your nose. Look at an immovable object, every single quadrant that you're turning, okay? And then notice, am I wobbling? We start doing this kind of a thing because we just don't recognize that we're doing it, number one. So slow it back and see my little chair is right here. And I'm thinking about how I'm placing my feet. So this kind of a circular pattern that we're doing right now is using your feet in slightly different ways of how to use your foot, of how to use your leg, your hip, your back. It reverberates all the way up. Now I've held my hands right here and I haven't really done any motion with it because I want it free to do what? To put my hand here if I need it. The biggest thing I want you to notice right now, as we're doing a circular pattern for warming up, is how severe you're wobbling. And depending on which hip or which knee or which foot has given you the most problems, or if you have pain on one side versus the other, that's generally how we get into that wobbling, is because we wobble to avert or to alleviate a pain on one side versus the other side. Stay with me here. We're doing a circular pattern for a warm up. I'm keeping my hands at about a 90 degrees. I could come up here and tap my shoulders, but my hands are free to use it on the chair if I happen to start to lose balance, okay? And you could lose balance for all kinds of reasons, as I've talked to very much about. It could be your hearing, it could be your eyesight, it could be that you're getting a little dizzy. I know it, so keep the chair here so you can put your hand on it if you need it. You only have a couple more, stay with me. So right now, you should be noticing that you're feeling maybe a little more pressure on the inside leg, okay? One more full circle. On the inside leg is where I'm starting to feel, oh, I do put more pressure on that inside leg as I'm turning into this circular pattern, okay? So I wanted to put that in your repertoire of things to do to A, help your balance, B, start to load your leg just a little bit, one versus the other, and C, to prep you for what we're going to do today in our workout. So first thing I'm going to do as I keep warming up my legs, because I am going to primary focus on my legs, I want to come down to a very light weight, and I mean light, okay? So for me, a light is generally 6, but I'm going to do some other moves. So today, I'm going to pick up 3s. So I have a 3 and I have a 3, because we're going to be doing some kind of arm extension type things in a pulling, pushing kind of a way. So I'm going to just take and walk 3 steps forward. I'm going to walk 3 steps backward. Then when I'm in back here and I've got clearance, I'm going to walk to the side step, walk to the side step. So I'm going to do side stepping, side stepping. When you do that side step, pay attention. How are you bending in order to step to the side? That's number 1. Number 2, when you take that step, and right here, I'm going to invite you to take your weights, your very, very light weights, just right here in your hand, and just go out with your hands just like this, then come in. So what are we doing? I'm trying to get you to do a hinge move with your shoulders specifically. So that means that when I step out, then I step in, and I'm working in the frontal plane. I'm really flaring out my hands with my light weight in them. And one of the things I really want to impress upon you that's very important when you do this, especially if you've had shoulder issues, is you got to keep your elbows right at your hip level. See, my elbows are right in there. They aren't leaving my side. And when you come out, here's the kicker right here. See, my elbows are into my hips right here. But as I pull out, you're going to have a tendency, you can see my hands, to rotate. I don't want you to rotate. I want you to put the backs of your hands really push them back. And in order to do that, you have to really open your shoulders. I know it. You can thank Kay for this one. And Mac, I'm trying to avoid stepping on him. Here we go. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Take a breath. Yes. When you take a step, squeeze the gluteal. As you're stepping out, really pull the backs of the arms back, like you're trying to touch a wall. But the whole thing hinges on whether or not you can keep your elbows right at your hip level, the top part of your hip bone right there. And you should be feeling this in your shoulders in a good way. Like, yeah, it's gotta, oh, you can't do this. You can't do this all hunkered down, okay? You gotta bring that rib cage up. Number one, I'm stepping side to side, the lining up of your feet and stepping and making sure you're not toeing out or toeing in, very important. But then you add the compound move here of your arms, and I'm having you do this move primarily at the beginning to, yeah, warm up your joint, but to get you to finally open up through the front of your chest wall. And that means working your hands in this kind of a manner. See this? Take a big deep breath. So step out, or right here, right here, right here. Don't miss the chance. Don't miss it. What are you supposed to be doing right here? Squeeze your butt. Yes. Step. Bring them in. Squeeze. You got to activate those gluteals, okay? And to just walk around, I should say schlup around in the morning. You have a higher chance of tripping on something, but B, you don't really utilize those gluteals when you're schlepping around. Well, here you have to on purpose go like this, soften your knee, now squeeze the butt, then bring it back in. Drop your shoulders. Yes and yes. And I will just tell you that when I pick up light weights, you can expect that you're going to do more repetition. I know it. So that's what I'm trying to do, is build up a little load presence by doing a higher repetition. So that is generally the formula for people that really suffer with arthritis. Okay, drop your shoulders. See how I'm stepping, tapping, squeeze. Squeeze your gluteals. You're right here. Line up, squeeze your gluteal. Now soften the knee, then step. And each time that you step to the side here, try to step a little further. Now, of course, if you're really struggling with movement in general right now, of course, I don't want you to step further. I just want you to take a step side to side. This side to side ambulation is a very important training move for balance and for stability. This side to side motion, that's why I'm doing a lot of them. Okay, and here's the deal. If you're sticking with me, and you're not just saying, oh, I've done enough. Who would say that? Let me see. Could it be Kathy? If you're staying with me on this, tighten tummy, tighten butt, drop your shoulders, soften your knee. Yes. And then always breathe, always breathe, always breathe. Anyway, you're trying to get your heat going. Right about now, if you've stuck with me on this whole little journey, this warm-up journey right now, you're starting to feel warm. And if you started off layered up, my guess is you're about ready to take off some of those layers. Okay? Okay, now I'm stepping and I haven't mentioned one thing about tightening your butt. Did you forget? I know. You have to remind yourself. to get that gluteal on board. And you may say, well, why is that? Why is that? Put your hands down now. Take a big breath, step forward. Take a big breath, step forward. Now I'm attending to my feet positioning, my foot mobility. We're going to be doing some of these later on in this session today. So when you step forward, you got to line yourself up. That's number one. Because you're just stepping forward and back. I'm just on the floor. So you're on whatever the floor is that you've got there. But here's the deal. When I step forward and I watch people step forward and do this motion, I don't even have to be positioned behind them, even though that's where I will be, to notice that when you go to step forward, many of us do this thing. We just start turning out. And so I am urging you, don't do that. I'm trying to help you strengthen your ankle as well as your knee and hip. And you've got to pay attention to your foot positioning. Because see, when I go into this move right here, I'll turn here so you can see my foot. When I step, just a normal step, as if I were going to take a walk, and I go like this, and then I push it so that I'm pushing my knee down, and I'm really flexing those toes. See, I'm really working that ankle. Take the few seconds to do that, okay? So here I'm going to go. Step, and then I'm going to drop my shoulders, and then I'm going to drop my knee in the back, and then I'm going to really push into my toe and lift that heel as hard and high as I can, and then come back, and then come back, okay? This right here could be one of your 1 minute, 2 minute workout, little breaks. This, see this? And really push into that toe box. Lift that heel up and then press back. Now, am I pushing a lot into my toe? No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. But I am pushing into my toe. And if I lean, it's a full body lean. Okay? But I'm wanting you to lift your heel and push down on your foot, on the front part of your foot, and then go back and go back. That kind of mobility work is so valuable to do, and we just forget doing it. Because one of the reasons is we walk around mostly all day in big boxes, big old pillows of shoes. They're called shoes. They're not very mobile. We have all kind of feet problems. We have all kind of like issues, which yes, we have to work with and work around, but you got to know that our feet are getting immobile. Okay, so now I'm stepping up here and just stepping side to side. Now we're going to do an important move. We can go back with no problem, right? So we already did this move, didn't we? Right? We tried to get these to open up, right? Then I'm going to continue this side to side ambulation. And when I say ambulation, I mean we're going somewhere. So I'm pushing back, okay? And here I go with my arms. I'm going to pull back this way, not this way. I'm going side to side, and I'm coming back. So this is just a continuation of opening the chest, okay? And getting your upper back muscles to really work. And here's the thing. These are incredibly light weights. If you did it with no weight, it would be valuable. When you push your hands back like this, drop the shoulders and really pull the shoulder blades together. And that means the elbows are going in, okay? Then you release, but you don't bring the shoulders to your ears, not yet. So I'm gonna pull back, I'm gonna sidestep, I'm going to ambulate in a upward pattern. See this? Mac is in my way. I'm going to step on him. Take a breath. Okay. Take a breath. Now I'm going to go backwards. And I'm just pulling those shoulders back. Drop. And see here, you don't even have to squeeze your hands. If your hands are getting tired, just let that disc rest on your hands. Just rest on that fist. See how I'm ambulating backward? Ambulating backward. Release. Come backward. Take a breath. Pull back. Bring those shoulders down. Big breath again. And now I'm all the way back. So I took several passes just to cover, a couple of feet. But this trajectory, working at this type of motion, a side to side, like you're skating almost, okay? And when you get to the side, you squeeze your butt. Then you step and you squeeze. And you step and you squeeze. And you step and you squeeze. And you squeeze your elbows to the back, 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 and to the back. Now we're ready. We're going to come right here, and we're going to go like this, and we're going to go down. Now, if you're like me and many other people, this is the move that you will habitually avoid. Why? Because you get popping and cracking, don't you? Now I'm going to go a split stance. See that? So here's a split stance, and I drop. I don't lean in, not yet, but my elbows are right here at my side. I'm not gripping this because I'm letting this, I'm holding on to it, but I'm not eternally gripping it to get you too fatigued is the point. So what I want you to do is shift to the front foot and then shift to the back foot. Okay, now this is a little test. Are you ready? I'm shifting to the front. My hands are right here. I've not done any movement with my arms yet. Focus on your legs. So when I shift to the back, see, I want to pull my toe up, and then I'm going to do a little pulse back with the heel, and then I'm going to actually bring my knee up so that I've now done what? I've fully shifted weight bearing to only the back leg. And in order to do that, I have to lower my center of gravity, okay? Take a big breath in your nose. Okay, now you're gonna, at some point, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna have to lift the knee. See that shift? That's not easy. And we don't ever do it because, we don't think about it, number one, but it's that shifting. Go to the other leg now. Just do a split stance. That's all I'm asking. I'm just saying do a split stance. That's it. Not overly wide. Just put your foot out in front of the other one. That's it. I don't mean in front of the other. I mean in a staggered stance, okay? Elbows are here, ready to go. I can wiggle my fingers. So I'm going to shift to the front. Now I'm going to shift to the back. And in your head, you got to make up your mind what you're doing. You're going to load the back leg. See, I got my toes up. Okay, drop your shoulders. Big breath. And then shift, drag that front leg until you get your knee lifted. And hold into the back leg. See, I started really drifting. Do you see the challenge here? Yes. This is what I really want you to do. That's what I got you warmed up for, is to get into these types of moves. Okay, get ready. Stagger stance. I'll go to the other leg or stay on that one. I don't care. I'm right here. And now I'm going to go like this. Okay? So here's the deal. If your hands are here and you're not thinking and you just rip these up here, you're going to have a problem sooner or later. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Breath. Yes. Exhale. Drop your shoulders and carefully rotate through the shoulder joint. It is a ball and socket joint. And some of us, that ball and socket ain't working real well. And you have popping and clicking, and sometimes it's painful. But guess what? This is a normal, functional range of motion. Yeah, and lots of us have big time problems with this motion right here, okay? That's why I didn't take this all the way out to a full extension with my arms. Very bent, I'm in a split stance. I'm shifting to the back, lifting my toe up, dragging my heel back. Take a breath. As I bring them down, I'm gonna bring this knee up a little. Open your toes. Some of you are glitching your toes in. Open your toes, then put your foot down. I know it. It's harder than it looks. I know it. Okay, big breath again. Other leg's gonna go split stance. Ready? So we're right here. Take a look at your toes. Some of you have your toes already turned out. Turn them straight in. If you feel like you need more stability, open it a little bit, not a lot, okay? Because see, this is just like a normal walk. That's all I want you to do, is act like you're gonna walk, and then you're gonna sit on it. I'm gonna bring my elbows up, okay? Get your shift going on, because you know what you're gonna do. So shift to the back, lift your toe a little, practice. See that? Some of you need to practice at opening your toes. Yeah, even in your shoe, open them up. And some of you cannot put the full weight back there, then don't worry about it. But shift into the back leg and just lift the front toe. Then bring it down, lift the back heel. That's all that you need to do. But if you can shift in here, rotate through that shoulder, just like we did, hold it, shift to the back leg, drag the heel, bring the knee up, open your toes, breath, 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 down, down. This is the kind of move that trains with specificity all the little guys around your hips, around your knees, around your ankles, around your feet, okay? And it's not as easy as it looks, okay? Okay, shoulders down, elbows a little open. See, before I was like this, 90 degrees, and I went like this, right? So now I want you to do, all I want you to do, I want you to keep your shoulders down, go split stance. Instead of holding the weights here, I want you to just go to a downward trajectory a little. You're straightening the arm a little at the elbow, okay? Take a big breath. We won't shift right now. We'll just, at this longer length, come up and then come down, okay? And we'll come up. Take a big breath and we'll come down. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Tight tummy, breath, exhale, and come down. Yeah, take a breath right now. Open those elbows. Here we go. Exhale. Keep your shoulders down. Breath. Shoulders down. Rotate. Breath. Drop your shoulders down. Just two more. Just two more. Here we go. Big breath. And bring it back down. Big breath. Exhale. See how I've opened at the elbow? Little, not a lot, but a little. And then one more. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And bring it back down and bring it back in. Okay, I had this leg forward, and now I'm going to finish this segment and do the other leg, but I'm going to walk just a little bit. So I'm going to go right back to my circular walking. I'm going to walk around my little chair just twice. Give your hands a little bit of a break. Okay, then turn, go the other way, all the way around. all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. One more time, one more time. Try not to wobble. I know it. Okay, so now I'm gonna be the other side. So I'm gonna be out here. Take a big deep breath. I think this is the correct side. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Anyway, now I'm gonna take and put my weights right on my little chair. I'm not even gonna use them right now. I'm gonna open my hands and I'm slapping my sides and I'm going like this. See that? And I'm going like this. See that? So drop shoulders, big breath. Tighten when you come back to center in the gluteals. Then you go down and you drop. And you come back. Okay? And you change. And you drop. So I'm trying to get into that drop. And I want you to see how crucial ankle strength and mobility, toe strength and mobility is to balance, to doing lifting, to being able to walk better, everything. Drop. Okay, shift that weight, step, drop, just like that, until you feel those toes bending, flexing. Yeah, just drop, just do a drop walk. I challenge you. When you're walking, wherever you're walking, you know, about every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just walk and drop. That's it. Just walk and drop. Okay? Just take a step and then drop until you feel your toes really flexing. Okay? You get the idea? It's just little things you can add to your whole day. And if you were walking around the yard and you had something in your hands and you did that just a couple times, that's enough to just let those muscles know that, oh my goodness, this person that I'm helping here is not dead yet. I better change things and move around a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in. I'm going to grab my weights. And so I gave your arms a good relaxation. Okay, now for this one, we're not going to do this one in this position. We're going to act like, and some of you may need to go ahead and have a sit down. I have my pad here. I'm stepping wide. I have light weights. I've done hinge out. I've pulled back. I've rotated and come up in a fly. But as somebody with a shoulder that acts up on them every once in a while, I'm not going to stand here and take a weight and take it up too much at all. But I am going to go up. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to act like I'm going to sit down, or I might even sit down. And if you do, that's great. Then you can sit down and just come right into here. And then is when you're going to just lift and come back down. See that? So basically, I'm trying to get you to work against gravity for the benefit of getting better shoulder mobility and strength. So you hip hinge, you could be seated or standing. And you're just gonna bring it a little bit open. See how my shoulder blades are going in? Take a breath. Shoulder blades are going in. I'm pushing into my heels. I'm not going real far up. Take a breath. Take a breath. You're going to hesitate at the top for just a quick second. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Breath. One more. Breath. And go ahead and sit. Okay? Anytime you feel you need to take a break or a little rest, just sit, but make sure your pad is on your chair for right now. Okay? Okay. I'm going to hip hinge forward. I'm going to go ahead and stand but you can do this very well from the chair, okay? Again, light weights, because we're working at some end ranges, okay? Big breath. If you want to stand, you're going to be in this position like this, okay? And all I'm going to do now is bring my arms straight back with this light weight. I'm pushing into my heels, taking big breaths, keeping my shoulders down, and I'm going to go up and hesitate right there, 1001. Breath, hesitate right there, 1002. See there, every time, just count it. Breath, take a breath. I'm going for 10 here. Take a breath, the straight arm move, straight back, squeeze the shoulders, the shoulder blades into your back. Big breath, exhale, breath, exhale, breath, exhale, breath, exhale. Okay, just do 2 more. Here we go, 1 more. And then stand up or sit down, whichever you need to do, okay? Big breath. So let me just do this in a little review. No weights, open your hands, close your hands, step forward, go up to a toe point, and then step back. That's it. Step up, go to a toe point. How do you go to a toe point? You gotta drop. You gotta drop your center of gravity, then step back. So I love to have you stand and do a lot of this work simply because your ability to not be frail is gonna hinge on your ability to stand, to use your back muscles correctly, to use your legs correctly. And so for this whole hour, I've pretty much stood. Now you can get a lot of those upper body works done just sitting in your chair. But I think if you can stand for a few and then sit down, that's fine. That would be really fine if you could do that. Okay. So now take a breath and we're going to bring those arms straight up here and our thumbs are out. See that? And we're going to come this way, and then we're going to go back, and then we're going to pull our thumbs out like that and come up. And we're going to go full tilt right there. So when you're up here right now, I want you to lift your rib cage up and then bring your arms down. Keep your shoulders down, come down. Then the thumbs are up and they go forward. And you come up over your head. When you get all the way up, drop yourself, drop your shoulders, take a breath, and release, and come back down. So I'm telling you, when you're having shoulder clicking, neck aches, it all is centered around getting your neck and your shoulders to working, okay? Now we're ready to do some very pointed leg strengthening work for people specifically who have arthritis. How are you going to get your legs stronger? You know, many people will just say, oh yeah, just go to a fitness club and start pushing weights around. Well, that's one way if you're able to do that. But I'm telling you, where you want to try to get stronger is in your stance. So what did I just pick up? Okay. I just picked up 9 pounds in each hand. That's what I picked up. You might be able to pick up more. You might need to pick up less. Pick up whatever you want, because we're going to do some specific lunging type motions with weights in our hands, doing very minimal arm pulls, but we're going to do different foot patterning, okay? So if you step forward, like you're walking forward, not big, and you've got 18 pounds that you just added to you, in this particular position, which I didn't go very wide, I want you to hear that. I can go down really far if I step way out wide. I don't want to take that chance of getting you unbalanced, okay? So there's a joke there somewhere, but I'll leave it. I'm gonna simply, sorry. I'm gonna simply pull my heel and drop my knee. That's it. No, Ruby. And then I'm gonna come up. See that? I'm gonna drop my knee, lift my heel. She'll settle down. Oh, jeez. She's gonna start howling. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Keep doing this if you're laughing. Good. Okay, drop your Ruby. Drop your shoulders. Drop your knee. Drop your knee. Yeah, you should be a little shaking right now. If you picked up 9 pounds with me, you should be feeling this, because see, I did all the above work that we did before this to do a little pre-fatiguing. I know it. Here we go. Down, down, down. Just drop the knee down. That's it. Keep your shoulders down. Take a breath. Yeah. Any lean forward is coming from your hip. So see, this is just coming from my hip. I'm focusing on dropping that knee down, and then I hold. So I do a couple, and then I hold, and I do little tiny flicks. So it's just a press, it's a pressing down. And see, my weights are just hanging off my fingertips. That's all they're doing. And then when I'm really feeling in those legs, I step back. I take a breath. I step the other leg out. Not wide, just like you were gonna step. That's it, okay? Then check your feet. So many people look like a duck right now. I don't want your feet going out. I want them straight on. Take a big breath. Lift the heel. That's it. In the back. Lift the heel. Drive the knee down. Take a big deep breath. Then come back. Plant the heel. Squeeze through the gluteals. Big breath. Here we go. Lift. Squeeze through the gluteals before you start down. Then you come up. You release it, of course, and then you squeeze. Okay? Drop right there. Big breath. Drop. Big breath. Come back. Okay, now we're going to start to hold. Are you ready? Are you ready? Go down as far as you can. Now hold it there. Say rib cage up. Big breath. And then pulse. The knee should be heading down. Breath. 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 Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Then come back. Then come back in. Now I'm going to take these weights. I'm going to bring it right up here. Bring it right up here. Now, they're just positioned on my shoulders. See that? So now, I'm going to swing the foot. Okay, so I'm balancing 18 pounds right here. Then you add your head weight. And then you add the rest of your body, your trunk weight. And when you go to swing, 1 foot back, and then 1 foot up and then back. See? Up and back. You're not landing on the foot. Primarily, you're on the solid planted foot. See? So you put a little pressure there, but increasingly, you know what I want you to do? Drop your shoulders, and I want you to increasingly put less and less weight on the swinging foot. Hardly any. Don't shift. Don't shift the weight load. It's coming right down through that planted foot. Just stay with me. Take a breath. Try to stay with all your weight coming right into the planted foot that's not swinging. Take a breath. Don't start going super fast. In fact, slow it down. When you go to put that foot down, act like you're trying to not step on a little feather that's down there, okay? Take a big breath. Just two more swings. Stay with me. Stay with me. One more. Yeah, think about that little feather being under your foot, okay? Now bring your elbows down, rest your shoulders there for a second. See, they're still here. I've still got this weight load coming right down, okay? Now I'm gonna plant the other leg. Got it? Big breath. Then I'm gonna shift because I'm gonna step and I'm gonna step. So I'm doing kind of like a swing, but I am putting my foot down just a tiny bit. So again, act like you're trying to just tap a feather on the floor. You got it? Okay, drop your shoulders. Your knee is very soft, even a little bent. Watch where your weight shifting is in your foot that's planted. Too many times, you're gonna over roll on your foot and you're gonna roll into that big toe area, which is normally how you walk, but we're trying to stay planted right now. Okay, so it's on the whole front 2 corners and the whole back 2 corners. And don't let your knee twist. That's why you keep it just a little bent. And you try to put the foot lighter and lighter. As you're doing this little swing, you're trying to just barely put the foot down. Barely put the foot down. And you're on that one leg. It should be burning right now. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Just a couple more. Couple more. Big breath. Okay, one more. One more good swing. Don't rotate. Don't over roll. Okay. Now I'm going to put my hands here and just do a little gentle roll right down here. Okay. So I'm standing here. I'm going to go shoulders up, shoulders down. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Again, I'm taking you through drills, movements, that will give your leg strength back to you, especially if you're somebody that has limited options, because we have joints replaced, we have arthritis, we have a lot of pain here and there and everywhere. It makes us not want to do anything, and that's exactly what you need to do. You just have to go about it a little differently. That's all. Okay? So what I'm gonna have you do, when I go up with my shoulders to my ears, I'm gonna pull my belly button in. So up and in. And I'm gonna go into my toe box. I'm squeezing my gluteals. Then when I put it down, I'm gonna really drop into my heels. And I'm gonna do a little patty cake lift. See how I'm going from one to the other with my toes? Yeah. Bring your shoulders up and you're on your heels. And then down. And then shift into the toes. And you're gonna go up. And then you're gonna breathe out and come down. And you're gonna exhale and lift. Really squeeze shoulders to the elbows. And you're going into the toe box. See, I'm just lightly bending my knees, and I'm pulling my heels up just a little bit. Not enough to get off balance, just shift. I'm trying to get you better at doing that shifting stuff. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, go back down. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, go back down. Okay, now walk around a little bit. Now, when I say around, you know what I mean. I have 18 pounds here. And now I'm going to in fact, circle the train, so to speak. And I'm gonna really watch the wobbling, because when we put on loads in our hands, if we're not thinking about it, that's when we really will give into a wobble effect. So ground yourself, step, keep your rib cage up, and don't let yourself give into that wobbling. So I go around twice one way, then I turn and I go around the other, and I'm managing these 18 pounds that I have in my hands. And I'm gonna go around 2 times. I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm breathing in through the nose. And then I'm gonna come right here. I still have my little pad right there. See that? So now I'm gonna act like I'm gonna sit down. Yeah, it's that time. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna sit down, but I'm not going to. So, any of you, seriously, that have arthritis, I don't care where it's at, back, hips, knees, unload if you need to, but you gotta do the sit to stands, and you gotta hold. So I'm gonna act like I'm gonna sit down. I'm moving into my heels, and I'm holding it right here, and I'm just gonna do little tiny punches. And I'm not sitting, I'm going into my heels. Breath, 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 breath. Stay into your heels. Breath. Hang on, keep your elbows in. And then down, and then push and stand. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your butt right now, right now, right now. Take a breath. Put the weights right back here and roll your shoulders back. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath through the nose. Roll the shoulders back. Then come back in. Here we go. We're gonna act like we're gonna sit down, but we don't unless we have to. Heels, barely touching that edge with the backs of the legs. And it's just little pushes. Breathing in through the nose. Pushes. Breathing in through the nose. You're in your heels. You're in your heels. You're in your heels. Stay with me. Stay with me. Down and up. I know it. Okay, let's put these weights down. Okay. Check out our hands. Yes. So multiple times. I hope you got hit right here and in the backs a little bit, but especially here. Okay. Now let's go. In these last few minutes, let's hang on to our little pad right here. See that? And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to step wide as the chair leg. Be ready for change up, because when you go to sit down, it's only a 2-inch more drop, but you're gonna feel it. So here's my little pad. As I go down, I'm just gonna do this. See, I'm just gonna rotate. See the shoulder? That's all I'm gonna do. Okay, rotate into the heels. Keep your chin tucked. Breath, go down and sit. And open those elbows. See, I'm not putting it on my head. You could. I'm just holding it above my head like a umbrella. Okay, now when you go to get up, do not let your knees go in. Okay? So now we're gonna come this way. We're gonna come here. We're gonna push into the heels. Take a breath. Exhale and come up. So you should have no holding of the breath. You should have a smooth transition up, a smooth transition down. Take a breath up to the heels and back down to the heels. Then I'm going to just put this right here beside me. I'm going to give my quads a nice stretch. I'm going to give my groin and my hamstring in the last minute here. So stay with me, y'all. This is kind of recovery moves. See how I stepped in just now with my leg? See that? Yeah, right to the edge. Then put your knee down. Doesn't have to be back. This is my hip replace side. I'm not going to do anything to hurt it. I'm just going to lean myself back. If I keep that knee down, wow, big stretch. Yeah. Then I'll just turn. I'll keep hammering. I'll just open, keep that knee down. Take big breaths. This is opening all of this. Just sit on it for like 10 to 15 seconds at least, maybe 30. Okay, rotate. Put that knee down. Open back. Okay, keep that knee down. Stretch right through that front leg muscle. Then turn, keep opening back. Big breath, big breath, big breath. Hang on. Hang on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go really wide with your legs. Put an elbow, I don't care which side, an elbow in one of the knees, and turn and look over your shoulder. And as you push that knee back, this knee stays right in this position. You're pushing and you're looking over your shoulder and you're coming down. And you're going to work at relaxing and opening up that whole hip that's very tight sometimes, especially if you have arthritis. And just hold down there for a little bit. Just hold down there for a little bit. Don't just hit it and come off of it. Take a big breath. Okay, push a little harder on the elbow. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. And then put the other elbow right here. Turn. And as you're coming and turning, you're pushing into that elbow, into the knee. Push. Come down. Turn. Open. Push. Take a breath. Come down lower. Push with the elbow. Breath. 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 Then come back down. Then we're going to get up now. We're going to stretch the hamstrings. So be careful with this one. A lot of people need to learn the correct pathway here so you don't screw up your back. If you tend to have balance issues, grab your chair, okay? That's a good thing. Then you're going to get your butt up. You're going to keep your knees bent. You're going to stay down here. Then you're going to straighten the legs until you start feeling a stretch. Then you're going to one at a time bring one toe up and then the other toe up. Yes, my head is down there for a bit, so you might get dizzy, but you got your chair to hang on to, right? And then if you need to, one more big push, bend the knees, equalize, and then come up. Always equalize before you come up or just sit down. Okay, y'all, I hope that was a big help. I focused on things that were standing that would really help your leg strength. And we did mobility work, strength work with lighter weights. Anyway, again, you know, it hurt me more than you. Okay, I'm going to record off. Yeah, stop.